demo day. I'm gonna take this engine out, hopefully. So the plan is to start on this side, try to take this wheel off. It's pretty stuck, so I don't know how that's gonna work. We're gonna take him off, go to the other side, take him off. Then we're gonna just disconnect the shocks, disconnect the e-brake if we can. It's pretty bad under there. But we need to take all that stuff loose, disconnect the shifter cables. We're gonna cut a couple of the coolant hose lines because, you know, we don't care. And then the whole engine, subframe, tranny, everything breaks, drops out. 12 bolts. So let's get to it. Do you want the mic on?
I'm just gonna put it in hyperlapse.
Okay, so you want to.
Here you have a few diagrams from the NSX manual where you're going to be able to see what's going to be removed on the next part of the video, which are the brake lines, shifter cables, e-brake cables. We're going to disconnect the sway bar links, the strut self-locking bolt and nut. Then we're going to move on top and remove the airbox hoses, harness, and disconnect the engine mounts so we can attach the cherry picker on top of the engine. Then we're gonna try to remove the bolts from the subframe, which they're gonna be as easy as we were hoping, but nothing is easy on this project, so you're gonna see that in a couple minutes.
So we got the e-brake out on one side. We pretty much got the e-brake out on the other side too. We got it out, you know, kind of loose like this. But this bracket that's missing on this one, it's still attached on the other side, so we got to get that done. The exhaust is loose, except for the hanger on that side. It's easy. And we just need to go back underneath, disconnect the shift linkage cables, which are hanging down right under there. We got to figure out, I don't think we can use them because they're probably damaged. So we're going to see how bad they are once we get under there, but we might just clip them. And then we'll go up top, disconnect the engine harness, and cut some coolant hoses and disconnect the fuel line, or cut it because it's probably got holes in it. And then we should be able to drop this thing. So.
Here we're going to be disconnecting the shifter cables from the transmission, as well as removing the emergency brake cables from the front of the car, so we can start clearing the bottom section of the engine so we can remove it later that day.
Okay. Let's get all these tools out from under here.
After removing the shifter cables, emergency brake cables, and the bars that hold the gas tank in place, we proceed to move to the top of the car and start removing the harness, airbags, cut the fuel lines, and the fuse box so we can start putting the cherry picker on top and start to drop the engine. It took way longer to clear up the top of the engine before we can install the cherry picker. It was almost midnight and we decided to call off the day. The engine is still in the car, as you can see. There are 12 bolts connected to the subframe, and 7 out of the 12 are really bad shape. So we couldn't remove the engine from the car today, but we're gonna try on Sunday. So what we're doing right now is we're cutting the, here, let me show you. Bolt, right? Not good. So what we're gonna do is like cut the head off and then grind the area where the bolt is touching the subframe, make it flat, and hopefully the subframe will drop, and then we'll be able to remove the engine from the car. The bolts will have like probably a couple inches sticking out from the car, and hopefully we have enough material to twist them and remove them from the car. So that's what we're dealing with right now. Nothing is easy on this car, so we didn't expect to have like an easy ride. But yeah, this is what we're doing right now. We've been here all day, you know, removing suspension parts, and like we actually power washed the car again, actually twice. And there's more mud. There's so much dirt in this car. It's crazy. But yeah, I'm gonna be cutting the other 3 heads of the other bolts on the other side of the car, and I'm just gonna drop. Sorry, there's mosquitoes here. I'm gonna drop the subframe just enough to start removing the cherry picker, and probably Sunday we will be able to remove the car for good. We don't know what we're gonna do with the car just yet. I mean, sorry, with the engine. I don't think we can rebuild it. It's in pretty bad shape. But we will see. We will see when we get it out. Get to work. It took me a few hours of cutting bolts with a Dremel before I was able to drop the subframe just enough so I can release the cherry picker from the top of the car. car is out. Well, the engine is out. You see? Subframe out. Out there. This may be a clear picture. You see? All the mud is drying there. It's almost like a break. So we're gonna have to power wash again. We power washed twice today. That didn't work out, apparently. But the car is subframe is disconnected. So we're gonna take care of that tomorrow. It's almost 3 in the morning, and I think that was good for today. So engine should be out tomorrow. And there you have it, the heart of the beast. The engine of our NSX project was finally out after a couple of days of work. A lot of grinding, a lot of liquid wrench spray all over the car, but we did it. Surprisingly enough, some of the parts were in pretty good shape, like the exhaust and the control arms. Now, the transmission, as some of you know, in this particular case, was not on the snap ring wrench, which is a common failure on early year NSXs. With this, we're gonna wrap up this video, but stay tuned for the next one, where we're gonna dissect this C38 engine that's been submerged underwater for 16 years. Stay tuned for more. Thank you very much for liking and commenting on our videos. Please consider subscribing and turning on the notification bell so you can stay up to date with all the new episodes of this really cool project.